Listen closely, listen closely, listen closely. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Imani. If you guys are new, I'm super excited for this video, guys, because that means that we have officially entered the back to school season videos or whatever, and I like doing those on my channel. They're fun for me. I don't really like going back to school, but I really enjoy making these videos. So I hope that you guys enjoy the ones that I'm gonna put out, and yeah, just stay tuned. So what I'm filming today, guys, is a junior advice video. I was going to do a freshman advice video, but I already did one of those on my channel if you want to check it out. I look so different, but I'll still add it in the cards up here somewhere so that you guys can check out the freshman advice video. But I wanted to do a junior advice video because I just wrapped up my junior year of high school, and I'm currently going into my senior year, guys, which is super crazy to think about. Junior year is over, so I feel like I'm well qualified to give you juniors out there advice on entering your junior year of high school. So let's just get straight into it. My first piece of advice to give you guys would be to really buckle down on your grades. Junior year is your last year before you start applying to colleges, and usually colleges like to see that your GPA is in well standing. If freshman year you slacked off, cool. If sophomore year you slacked off, cool. But junior year is not the year at all to slack off, because you really need to raise your GPA as much as you can so that colleges really see the best presentation of you as possible. And if you are a person that doesn't want to go to college, I would still recommend keeping a tight hold on your grades, because it can be so easy to lose yourself within the school year. You can have an A all of a sudden and then have a D in the class just because you weren't paying attention or you just decided not to care anymore. Stay on top of your grades. Listen closely, listen closely, listen closely. Junior year is the year when a lot of students take the SAT, ACT, whatever test you take. My school actually pays for our first time taking the SAT. So I slacked off because I'm like, oh, the school is paying for it. I already took an SAT prep class. Like, I'll be fine. I don't really need to study. You need to study for the SAT. If nobody has told you, I'm telling you right now, study for the SAT, study for the ACT. Even if you're taking an SAT prep class at your school, that's cool and all, but you still need to study aside from that. It's so important. I don't want to keep talking about colleges because that's not everybody's option, but if you are going to college, you do want to present yourself with the best SAT score, ACT score, whatever, because the higher it is, the better chance you have of getting scholarships. And I've been looking at colleges so far. My SAT isn't where I want it to be, so I actually am retaking it. So just study so that you can get the score that you want the first time. If you still don't get the score you want, okay, go ahead and retake it. But I really think that if I would have studied more, at least I would have got higher than I did. Maybe not the score that I really wanted, but higher than I did. So guys, just study. I know junior year is packed. I know junior year has a lot going on. Just study for your SAT, because you don't want to have to worry about it. You just want to take it and just get it out the way and focus on the rest of your life, okay? Also, guys, I forgot to mention that if you haven't joined any extracurricular activities, junior year is the perfect time to do so. You still have time to explore interests that you like, and yeah, you should just really join some extracurricular activity. My next piece of advice for juniors would be to start thinking about your college major. It's not a requirement that you know what you want to do automatically, but it is good to start thinking about it. Even if it's the summer before your senior year, you can start thinking about your college major. I'm currently thinking about it because I want to apply to applications early. So I'm just thinking about my college major, but I would suggest thinking about it during your junior year. I'm not saying to literally commit to a major, because you're probably going to change your mind anyway. It's good to just start thinking about what you want to do. My next piece of advice would be to just put yourself first. Junior year is a very hard year for most students. Some people say it's the hardest year of high school, and that can be true. Most people are taking AP classes. Your friend group is changing. You're changing as a person. You're finding out who you are. So I would just suggest to put yourself first. Make sure you're taking care of yourself before anything else. If your version of self-care is to watch Netflix, read books, just do something to make you happy, because you are going to be stressed a lot. A lot of people are stressed during their junior year and they just want it to be over. But a way to kind of step back from that stress is to just put yourself first and take time out for yourself to do the things that you enjoy. During junior year, your guidance counselors will start to ask you about what you want to do during your senior year. A lot of people at my school are choosing to break their schedule in half, and they're choosing to come half a day. So they'll do dual enrollment at our local community college, and a lot of people are choosing to work during their senior year, so they're going half a day at school and the rest of the day they're working. Some of the people in my senior class are deciding to stay all day. So during your junior year, you have to decide what you want to do during your senior year. So I would just tell you guys to trust your gut. Set your schedule up for classes that you know you'll be able to take. Just do what's best for you. Don't focus on what your friends are doing. Don't try to be in classes that your friends are going to be in. Trust your gut. Do what's best for you. Don't focus on everybody else. I talked a little bit about this earlier, but my next piece of advice is to not slack off. It is so easy to lose a grade. It is so easy to deter. It's just so easy. The end of junior year, a lot of the juniors, we were slacking off because you just get tired of it. You really just get tired of all the work. You get tired of all the homework, the projects, the tests, and you just want to give up. But just don't give up, please. That's the worst thing you could do. I've seen people literally give up and they're mad at themselves for doing. Just do your best. Nobody's saying that you have to get all A's and all this. No, just do your best and don't slack off. Another thing I wish I would have known in my junior year is to get my permits and start driving as soon as possible. Some people start driving in 10th grade. Some people already know how to drive. But if you have the opportunity to learn how to drive, or you have the opportunity to get your permit, I would suggest getting it as soon as possible, because 11th grade year rolls around so fast, and before you know it, it's the summer before your senior year. And some people want to drive to school, but they can't because they don't have their permit, or they don't have their license, or they don't have enough practice hours. Me. I would say start learning how to drive, or start getting your foot in the door with driving if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to drive, you don't have to. But if you know you're a person that possibly wants to drive their senior year, or you just want to start driving period, I would say go ahead and get a start on it if you haven't already. Before you know it, junior year is over and you're a senior, me, and you don't have enough practice hours to get your license, but you know you're ready to take the test, but you can't because you didn't start sooner. So yeah, that's the boat I'm in right now, and I just wanted to tell anybody, if you're thinking about driving during your senior year, if you're thinking about doing things, I would just say get a start on them as soon as possible. Another tip I have for junior year, guys, is to just stay out of drama. I've seen a lot of cases where people focus more on drama than they do their schoolwork, and in turn, it doesn't work out in their favor. I shouldn't even have to say this, guys, because they say this in all the advice videos, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Stay out of drama. It's really going to distract you from what you're trying to do, which is keep your grades up, keep your GPA up, and work your way into your senior year. My next piece of advice, guys, is to just get close with your guidance counselor, because a lot of people tell me that during senior year, your guidance counselor is probably going to be your best friend because you're going to be asking for transcripts and stuff. So I did get a little bit close with my guidance counselor, but not as much as I would have hoped to. So I'm going to work on that in the beginning of senior year. But yeah, just try to get familiar with your guidance counselor. If you already haven't talked to him or her, try to talk to them. If you don't really like your guidance counselor, you don't have to talk to them. There are other guidance counselors. There should be, at least at your school, that you can talk to, or someone else that can write you a letter of recommendation. Just things, little things like that, so that you're not stressed about it. People have told me that, so I'm telling you guys that. Another piece of advice that I would give you guys is to actually study. Sometimes you may think, I don't need to study for this test. Sometimes you may think, I got this test in the bag. No, you don't. You need to study. Coming from me, a person who thought they had everything together, they didn't need to study. Sometimes you need to study. Certain things in high school, like, you literally don't need to study for. Like health, you probably don't need to study for that. Gym, things like that, you probably don't need to study for. But a physics test, a physics quiz, take it from me, guys. English stuff, you probably think you don't need to study for, but you need to study for it. Even if that means just reading over your notes, reading them aloud, something, but just trying to go in a test with only looking it over right before the test, it doesn't work. Like, it really doesn't work. You may think it's gonna work, but it doesn't. So you need to study. I know it's easier said than done, but look, I'm trying to help y'all. That's pretty much all of the advice that I have for you guys. I hope that you all have a great junior year. If you're not a junior and you're watching this, have a good school year period. And yeah, hopefully some of this advice helps someone out there. And yeah, just have a good school, you guys. I'll see you in the next video that I post. Bye.